ready for this? You ready for this? You ready for this?
Hi, I'm Sam and I'm one of the editors of the High Tea Cast and you're watching High TV. So today I'm going to talk about life before 30. So although I know I don't look it, young face, young features, must be genetic, it's now just under 6 months before I turn the ripe old age of 30. I don't really know how I feel about it. I go through stages of being really excited because I guess people see it as a bit of a landmark. And then the other half of me goes, oh my God, I'm getting so old. And that growing line across my forehead is a bit like, scary. And I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, even when I was younger than that, 30 never really seemed that much of a big deal. I don't really remember people celebrating it loads. I remember you sort of had your 21st and then it was 40. It was the big 40 and that's what everyone celebrated. And maybe that's because that's what I saw my parents celebrate and things like that. But 30 seems to have become a huge deal to everyone. It seems to have become this thing that you either love or you loathe. And I don't know if you've noticed, but lots of people have been posting blogs for years about 30 things they're going to do before they're 30. And this is something I've always considered because obviously I've decided that 30 is a bit of a landmark in my calendar. There's lots of things I'd like to do in my life, and why not set myself a bit of a challenge? However, as I said, I've got under 6 months now, just under, before I turn 30. So the likelihood of me running a marathon or solving world peace or doing anything of the sort before I'm 30 it's just unlikely. So what I decided to do was write a short list of things that personally I'd really like to do. And I thought what I'd do is I'd come back fairly regularly and let you know how I was getting on, because I'm sure there's going to be some hilarious results with some of these. So the first thing, and that it seems like quite a grown-up thing, that you should do and you should know when you are officially an adult, and I certainly don't feel like an adult, and officially grown up, is to understand more about wine. So my basic understanding about wine is I like it and I drink it. And that's pretty much as far as it goes. I know that I don't like cheap white wine, and I don't know why. I know that I can tolerate some rosés, and I know that I like red. I'm not really sure what types of red I like. Sometimes on the television you see these wine tasters and they're kind of sniffing the wine and they're going, ooh, woody flavours, and ooh, it's got a fruity aftertaste. I mean, I really don't understand what they're talking about. I just sit there and go, it's wine, it's wet, I'll drink it. However, wine seems to be the thing that I should know about as a grown-up, and it would be really nice not to waste loads of money on rubbish wine and actually to be able to invite people over for dinner and say, oh, I've got this lovely bottle of red here for you. I don't know. Maybe it sounds, I don't know what it sounds like really, but it's something I want to learn about. So I'm definitely not going to go on a big wine course and become a master of wine. And I'm not going to take the route of just drinking a lot to find out what I like. I know that there's some off-licences wine shops, particularly ones like Majestic, that do wine tasting evenings, because my mum and my stepdad have been on a few. And they said they're really good for understanding a little bit about different wines, why wines from different countries taste differently, what you like about white, and all kinds of things. So my plan is to get on a couple of those before I turn 30 and to really find out what it is that I like and why, so that I can walk into my local Tesco and point at a bottle and say that is the one for me, or just sit in a restaurant and know what I'm talking about when the wine guy comes over and says, what would you like, and not just pick the cheapest one because I don't know what I'm talking about. So that's number one. I'm going to be really grown up before I'm 30 and I'm going to learn about wine. It seems a little bit of an oxymoron to be talking about this after talking about drinking wine, but one of the things I really want to do is to be more physically fit and more strong. Not from a kind of weight loss perspective or anything like that, but just because I'm really not very fit at all. I can't run very far. Walking up 5 flights of stairs is terrible to me. I'm really out of breath. And I just think turning 30 is a good time to say, I want to be really strong. So I am going to the gym relatively regularly, but I want to step that up and I want to start looking at my progress. And one of the ways I've been looking into ways in which I can measure my progress, amount of press ups is one of them. I just don't think that's for me because my arms, I mean, there's literally nothing there at all. No muscle, no baby guns, nothing happening. So what I'm going to try and do is a plank. I will link below a picture of a plank for you in case you don't know what it is. But essentially you lie on the floor with your arms and your feet supporting your body weight, and it's supposed to be really good for your core muscles, your stomach, and that's supposed to be a really good indicator of fitness. So the day before my 30th birthday, I am going to be able to hold a plank for 3 minutes. I don't know if that's long or not. I know at the moment I struggle for 30 seconds, so 3 minutes seems like a good benchmark. I don't know, we'll see. If anyone's got any better ideas, let me know in the comments below. What I actually really want to do is take a course in something crazy. Something completely unrelated to my day job, something totally unrelated to what I do on HTC. I literally just want to try something really crazy. I've been looking into colleges that are near my work. There's Westminster Adult Education Service, and there's a place called Morley College, which I was told do loads of crazy stuff. And I found a couple of things which I'm looking into. One of them is a face painting course. That's child's face painting, adult face painting, the works. And I don't know, just seems really fun and creative. And also a bit useless. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily going to be a skill I need in the future, so it seems a bit crazy, so why not do it? The other course, and I'm just checking the dates to see whether it is before March, before I turn 30, is a 1-day styling course. So you go and you find out a bit about personal styling, and you have some one-to-ones with a personal stylist that will talk about your own style. And I don't know, it's so far out of my comfort zone, fashion and things like that, that I don't know, I think it'd be quite a funny thing to do, and maybe that'll be the thing that genuinely scares me, because the whole fashion thing does genuinely scare me a bit. So yeah, they're two that I've come up with. I don't know, at the moment face painting and personal styling are sort of up there on my little list to investigate and save up for. And I'm going to see if I can find any more. So if you've got any tips for London-based colleges that do kind of different stuff, then let me know. I have just bought a DSLR camera, which is not here yet, which is why the quality of this video is not that great. I'm filming it on my MacBook. But I've just bought a DSLR camera, and I don't really know much about photography at all. I've got a little point and click digital camera that I just about know how to use the macro setting for close-up shots, but that's it. So what I really want to do before I'm 30, and again it's frivolous, but it just feels like the kind of thing I should know, is learn how to take pictures on my new DSLR camera without using the auto setting. So understanding a little bit about the lenses and all the different settings and stuff that comes with it, so that I can take a picture on manual and for it to be really good and understand a bit about that. I'm hoping to go on a sort of adult education course on a Saturday that's how to use your DSLR camera, so I can get a bit used to what all the buttons do. I'm quite good with technology, but cameras really flummox me. I'm just not that good at taking pictures, so that's something that I definitely want to do. As some of you will know, I work in volunteering, and I've volunteered pretty much since I can remember on numerous things. And the volunteering that I've been doing recently, I've been a school governor up until very, very recently. So I was a school governor for about 4 years, and that was fantastic. I loved every bit of it, but that had to come to an end. The time commitment was huge, and because where I work is really far away from where I was a school governor, it just wasn't fitting around my work commitments, so I stepped down at the end of my term. So I'd really like to find something else. I'm going to an open evening next week around new volunteering opportunities with a different youth charity. I'd quite like to do something sort of roll my sleeves up and get stuck in, whether that's something really regular or ad hoc and one off. So I don't know, I fancy doing something practical like gardening. No, I don't know, it's winter. Yeah, maybe gardening or some face to face work with young people because that would be really useful for my job as well. And I think it would be quite fun having done face to face work with young people before. They certainly test you and challenge you in ways that you don't realise. So I really want to find and try some new volunteering before I turn 30. Now, this is a really big grown up thing. If you thought learning about wine was grown up, I mean, actually, you probably didn't. I think it's quite grown up. One of my second to last thing is to get a mortgage. Yeah, me and Mr. S are looking to buy a house, and we need to move out of our current house by next June, July time. So I'm not saying we would have bought a house by next March. It would be amazing if we had, but I think realistically we won't have. I'm also quite fussy, so I think it's going to be really difficult to find a house that I love and can afford. But what I really want to do is to have got the really nitty gritty of having a mortgage in place. That means I've got to go talk to banks and mortgage brokers, and I've got to hand over all my finances, which means I've got to stop shopping at ASOS. Yeah, I have a big ASOS habit, or River Island habit at the moment. So it's really scary and really grown up, but it feels like I need to have a mortgage in place before I'm 30, and I'm definitely going to have a mortgage in place pretty soon because we've got to buy a house, and unless I win the lottery or someone gives me lots of money, I'm definitely going to have a mortgage. So that's a horrible thing, but it's one of those things that I've got to do, and it's on my things to do before I'm 30 challenge. I'd really like something published in print, in paper copy, in a magazine or a newspaper. So obviously I'm self-published online through various blogs. I've also been published quite a lot now on the Guardian website and a Third Sector and a civil society magazine and a few other places like that, purely through work. And I've certainly had stuff in national newspapers before. I've had my comments about something or projects that I've been working on that my name's been next to, or when we won an award at somewhere I used to work, we had a whole section of a supplement in the Guardian, and it had a terrible picture of me. But what I'd really like is to write something and submit it somewhere and have it published. And to be honest with you, I don't really mind where it is, whether that's a local newspaper or national or a magazine, trade press. I don't really mind, and I don't really mind whether it's work related or not. And I guess I need to start thinking about how I'm going to do that and working my way through. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try and give it a go. So I've only got 6 months, but I'm really hoping that I can get something. It doesn't have to be very long. I mean, I'll take a paragraph with my name next to it, if I'm honest. But I'd really like to do that. And I'd really like to get published more and more as I get older. But to have a little something in print with my name next to it before I'm 30 would be awesome, I think. So they're all the things I want to do in my life before I turn 30. So wine, cameras, face painting, volunteering, mortgages, you know, a real mixed bag of things. And you might think, what's the point? But these are all little things that I guess I've been thinking about for a long time, and I think are fairly achievable but challenging before I turn 30. And I hope that then when I turn 30, I've got some things to reflect back on to say, yep, you've done that, and now let's move on to the next stage. So I'm going to come back and update you. I'm going to give myself a chance to start thinking about some of these things, and I'll come back and update you how they're going. So subscribe to the channel, The High Tea Cast. You can also follow our blog at www.thehighteacast.co.uk. Catch us on Twitter at The High Tea Cast, or if you've got any ideas for me around my challenge, wines you like and you think I should try, I'm always up for that. You can hit me up personally on Twitter at Sam R Sparrow. So thanks for watching High TV, and I'll see you next time. Bye!